Let's talk about these monies that are moving from one bank account to the other. And you've mentioned the CBN being the domiciliary organization that is keeping these monies.
Yeah.
At what point was the monies moved on a monthly basis?
The monies that were recovered were the ones that were domiciled in the CBN. And Nigerians will remember clearly that the then Minister for Finance, Dr. Konjo-Iweala, appealed to Senate to approve 100 million naira from what the pension team had recovered to be used to fund the 2012 budget. But Senate, in their own wisdom, approved only 74 billion naira. And 74 billion naira was removed from that account in the CBN. Now, the question some of us now are asking is, where is the balance of that money in that account?
Is the account still in existence?
That's what the CBN needs to tell us now. Where is the balance of that fund? Because 282 billion was the last closing balance. Senate approved 74 billion to be used to fund 2012 budget, which was taken. Now, where is the balance of that fund?
Then who was in charge? I mean, it's logical to ask who was in charge, because when you say only about 800 million naira goes out to pensioners on a monthly basis.
That's in the police pension office.
The police pension.
Yeah.
And then you have a balance of about 4.2 billion. People will want to ask or know, in whose custody has that money gone into? Is it still with the CBN, or has it left the CBN into somewhere else? You
see, the figure in this particular instance now is about what happened in the police pension office. In the police pension office, 5.3 billion was what Senate, the National Assembly appropriates for police pension. Now, when Maina's team came on board and did the biometric verification and removed 71,000 ghost pensioners, the total value that was supposed to be used to pay pensioners was 826 million. So which means that 4.2 billion on an annual basis is what is available to be stolen.
On an annual basis?
Yes, assuming that the police pensioners were paid up to date.
I assume that has stopped by now.
I don't think it has stopped, because if it has stopped, when Maina was forcefully sent out, 35 billion was missing between the time when Maina was sent out and when the next agency, the Pension Transition Arrangement Department, was put in place.
You have proof of that?
Of course, yes. There was a petition we sent to the ICPC.
What's the proof?
ICPC has not...
The petition to the ICPC is the proof?
Yes. The ICPC has not... ICPC arrested 15 members of staff of the head of service. And the next thing we heard was they were released.
What did you do, knowing that this is continuing in the police force?
Not just in the police force. There are 99 pension offices in this country. Only 2 has been the crux of all this brouhaha.
Because
now, what happens to the remaining 97?
Because your life is also practically on the line of fire. So what have you been able to do to get the agencies to hear your side of the story? Say, for instance, I know that this amount of money is still being released on a yearly basis, and nobody's saying anything about it.
You know, the saddest part of it is, I will put a little blame on those of us in the media, because again, we're actually no more investigating reports before we go to town. And part of why I'm putting this blame actually on state is this. Even when Pt.2 was put in place, I did a personal petition to the ICPC asking why and how the Director General of Pt.2, who is supposed to be an organization taking over from Pt.2, is earning 43 million naira in a year as salary. That's about 200% of what the Nigerian president earns. And yet, the pensioners that her institution is supposed to be paying, as I'm speaking now, are being owed 46 months.
Just a couple of questions before we go. I mean, at the time you said he was shot 5 times,
yes, and
you advised him to go under.
Yes.
Did he report this incident to the police?
It was reported to the police. The Inspector General of Police then was Muhammad Diko Abubakar. The matter was reported to the police.
Okay, and then when you then advised him to come back into the country, and you said that there were court processes that had said that his name be removed from Interpol.
Yeah.
What about the EFCC? Because you said his name,
The EFCC
Interpol.
and the police were defendants in that matter.
So did he approach?
And there is still a pending matter even in court against the EFCC as we speak, in which case that one is coming on the 29th of next month.
Yeah, the thing is, if the EFCC was aware of all of this,
yes.
Are you saying that they were aware and deliberately went on to still declare him wanted or left him wanted?
I think the FCC, like any other senior government official that had come again to deny Maina when he returned after the reinstatement, were all just playing to the gallery to just run away from blames. And I think that's exactly what EFCC is doing in this particular instance.
But you know that those who find some of these things, they ask themselves, look, if you're going to come back into the country, you're declared wanted, the last information people have of you is that you are a wanted man, and then you're coming into the civil service, you're being promoted, all the processes are going on, it was all quiet, and all of a sudden you turn up and say, well, it's some people who are trying to get back at him at doing this. Don't you think that this was not properly handled? That now, if you need to clear your name, you need to let the EFCC get to them, answer those questions, and prove your innocence?
I think that's part of the reason why, at a point, the Minister for Justice, who is more like the main man in the center of the whole thing, came up to say, look, he has taken the decisions he has taken in the best interest of the nation. Because as at the time when everything was put to his table, he saw everything, he said, well, there are two court judgments. Now, these are the issues, the court judgments, these are the rulings and decisions of the court. And as the chief law officer of the Federation, it is his responsibility to be able to advise the federal government on what to do. And that, I think, those are the processes that brought him
was
back.
Maina wanted? Maina is a man being wanted instead of being a messiah because he has been able to discover all these monies that are being siphoned. Why do you think that is happening?
I think those persons who had been at the receiving end of the activities of the PRTT, of course they are threatened because 43 of them have been arrested and are being prosecuted. So the number definitely.
But the prosecution has not gone through.
I said no, not one person has been.
Guys, we need to move.
Not one person has been.
Okay, because those who will say, why would you not advise him to turn himself in, be in the EFCC custody, and point out where all these monies are and those who are responsible?
I would have said that would have been a very good option. But again, too, the EFCC was a fundamental part of the PRTT.
How did he get his assets, all the buildings that are being sealed up?
That's very personal to him, I don't know. But as a journalist, what I know, which is of public good and public interest.
But you're his aide.
I claim he has all these documents.
I'm a journalist.
Okay,
I was the first person
see all the papers refer to you as Maina's aide.
Probably because I speak with some level of authority on the issue. But I'm strictly a journalist. I went in there to investigate this matter. At a point, I started receiving threats not to report again, and I felt, no, I must report. And I had to lose my Camry, which I bought just 7 days before it was crushed.
Fashikun, thank you for talking to us this morning. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away.